Okay, in the last video we looked at equations of quadratic type and at least identify them that way. What we want to do in this one is start solving equations of quadratic type. Now again, I need to be able to look at this and say this is an equation of quadratic type. If that's true, then this should look like blob squared plus 2 times blob minus 3 equals 0. Well, that would make the blob x to the 1/6, and blob squared would have to be x to the 1/3. I'm just going to check, right? Is it true that x to the 1/6 squared is equal to x to the 1/3? If it is, then we can do this. If it's not, then this is not a quadratic type and we're going to move on. Remember how you raise a number to a power? You multiply the powers by each other. So this is going to be x to the 2/6. This is x to the 1/3, which is, equal to what it should be. So this is an equation of quadratic type. If you want to just start rewriting it and start factoring, you can. Meanwhile, I'm going to do this the long way and substitute. What I'm going to do is let u just be equal to the blob, and the blob should be the the linear part here. This should be 2 times x to the 1/6, so u is going to be x to the 1/6. We already checked that u squared would be x to the 1/3, like that. And now I'm just going to put everything in. U squared is x to the 1/3, so I get u squared. 2x to the 1/6 would just be plus 2u. Minus 3 equals 0. And now that's a genuine quadratic equation. It's an easy quadratic equation. We can just factor that. I'm going to get u plus 3 times u minus 1 equals 0, and that should check. So I'm going to get two answers. I'm going to get u equals minus 3, which there's going to be stuff to do, and there's going to be u equals 1. Now, why don't I just quit? Because my original equation had x's in it, and my solutions so far still have u's in it. So what I'm going to do is go back and find my x's and then check my answer. I'm going to do the easy one first, so the easy one is going to be the u equals 1. Now, instead of u, I'm going to put what is equal to the x to the 1/6. So I'm going to write down x to the 1/6. I'm going to leave a little space. Now, why I leave a little space? Because I have to solve for x. How do I solve that for x? I raise both to the 6th power. I'm going to raise both to the 6th power. You remember, when you raise a number to a power, you multiply the powers by each other. 1/6 times 6 is just 1, and that's just x to the 1st. And so we get x equals 1 to the 6th. 1 to the 6th is easy, that's just 1. So x equals 1 works perfectly fine. I'm going to check this answer. When I check this answer, I'm supposed to plug back into the beginning. 1 to the 1/3, that's just the cube root of 1, that's 1. Plus the 6th root of 1 is still just 1, so that's going to be 2. And then we get minus 3, that is 0. So it checks. Yay! All right, let's do u equals minus 3. For u equals minus 3, I put the x back in. So I write down x to the 1/6 equals minus 3. And I'm supposed to have left a little space. I raise both sides to the 6th power. I'm going to go like this. The 6th power. When you raise a number to a power, you multiply the powers by each other. 1/6 times 6 is 6. It's just 1, sorry. And I'm going to get x to the 1st. That's just x. This is going to be a big number. Minus 3 to the 6 is 729. Now, I want to go back and check my answers. I probably should use a calculator, but I'm just going to see what I can do here. The cube root of 729, I believe, is 27. No, that's 9. The 6th root of 729 is 3. So this is going to be 2 times 3. And then I get minus 3. I'm supposed to get 0. What I got was 12. Right? And this is not equal to 0. So 729 doesn't work. Now let me just talk for a second about what went wrong. Right at this step, when I put my x's back in, I wrote down that x to the 1/6 is equal to minus 3. When you take the 6th root of anything, you always get a positive number. So at that point, if I really recognized what was going on with 6th roots, I could have just quit there. Meanwhile, I can just go through, solve for x, say, whoops, it didn't work, right? And so we really only get one answer, and that's the x equals 1.